In the last years, we've seen the blossoming of crypto economy as a whole. When did you start to take interest in the crypto world, and how is it with crypto in Slovenian market? Well, I would say the boom of cryptocurrencies definitely made a lot of interest or sparked a lot of interest from everyone, I think, especially in the startup world. And of course we took notice probably more than a year ago. But of course this hype or just around the money, I wouldn't say, for me at least, is not enough to actually have enough interest to go into the technology. But I think it definitely helped to start so that we started to look into it. And after starting to research and so on, we were a bit reluctant in the beginning, but we actually, because we're in the invoicing space, we did see a lot of potential in blockchain as the core technology and what it offers, and not as much in the cryptocurrencies connected to it. Regarding the Slovenian market, I would say it's very big. I mean, we have a lot of ICOs, successful ones, with a lot of different interesting products. I think this comes also from the fact that we have also a lot of successful startup projects, and as a country I think we're very forward-thinking, at least this generation, which is seen in all of the activities that are going on, and I think Slovenia is definitely becoming a big point on the map. You're not the first company out there that is targeting invoicing. Mike, what makes you different from your competitors? Yeah, that's true. There's a couple of companies, a couple of ICOs specifically, that are doing invoicing or something related to invoicing. I think the biggest differentiator between us and them is the fact that even though the underlying point of all of the products is invoicing, the others went too much into specific use cases which they are developing. So we've kind of shifted focus away from doing one specific use case, but more on the underlying technology that is, or the underlying enabler for invoicing, and that specifically is the verification of the content of an invoice. We think that that is the biggest change that blockchain brings. And we want to focus on that to deliver a method for other use cases to be developed upon. So we don't want to develop a specific use case, we want to be an enabler for other use cases and just use the core benefit of the blockchain regarding verifying invoices. What sort of an advantage would the blockchain protocol bring to this project? Before doing the project, before going into the ICO direction, we asked ourselves, could the project be done without blockchain? And that was the question at every meeting where we were doing the product development. And the answer in our mind should always be no. So if you want verifiable invoices that any party, without knowing each other, without before talking to each other, want to have a verifiable point that is trustworthy no matter where you are, who you are, we think that blockchain provides that, and without it, this point would be impossible. So this is why it's crucial that we use blockchain to have verifiable invoices, and on a global scale. What are your plans for an ICO? So we're coming out of traditional or more startup kind of oriented business. So for us it's very important to have a nicely developed product. So we want the idea to be very polished, and we're spending a lot of time to produce something credible. We're also working on obtaining really good partners, because our belief is that we need to build a good enabler, a good platform for others who are experienced in their fields to create great projects upon our project. So that's our mission right now, going into the ICO, so that when we start the real public communication, the actual ICO process, we want to have something solid behind it. Yeah, definitely. The market is down. I think it's a bit of a, you could call it a depression. But, well, it's not stopping us. Basically, we believe that we have something that is viable, that can create value. And I think investors will see that. It might not be the best time to start it, but I think we believe that we can be successful even though the market is as it is. What are your long-term plans with the project? We're starting off by using blockchain technology to get verifiable invoices, but that's just the beginning of the story. Of course, building a platform that allows amazing use cases to be built upon it, that's a very important short-term step. But in the long term, we want as many users, as many companies, merchants, and so on using it, because this will enable what we really want to build in the long term, and that's the concept of triple entry accounting. And it can only be done if you have a trustworthy, decentralized point that represents each invoice. And I think in the way that we're trying to do it, that we can be successful. The technology and making invoices verifiable, simple in its core, I think can be brought to some amazing use cases. So we could potentially say goodbye to fraud and allow some more financial prosperity for some companies, some customers, some peace of mind, and in the future a lot of accounting automation and a lot less copy-pasting to Excel, maybe.